The work is a thing with no other purpose. And it's sort of a new thought, it's not a new thought, but giving that name is a way of newly steering people towards the fact of the thing itself, rather than having it refer to something else the way representation does. That said, it does have a bit of an inclination beyond itself, because it started out with that little sawhorse type structure that's embedded within it, that I found at the side of the road in a completely decrepit state. And I'm interested in taking these ruined things, or sites of ruin in other works, and using those to generate something new, something better. It's sort of an idea of trying to salvage something good out of wreckage. And, so I guess it does refer beyond itself in that sense, but maybe in the catalytic sense, because it's not specific. But maybe it's a catalyst for other imaginings, for thinking about things in ways that we haven't thought about them before. I took this little bench and I worked with it over probably 9 or 10 months altogether, trying different configurations, different combinations of materials, and until I was able to achieve something that I think has a sense of wholeness and at the same time a sense of disparate parts. So I think about a lot of things in social terms when I'm making the work, and I don't rely on those as being necessarily communicated by the work. They're more like a way for me to get at making something that is purposeful, that feels purposeful, at least for me, that feels purposeful or seems to have a purpose, but the purpose is unnamed or unformed. And I hope that the purpose comes to reside in the participation of people who look at the work, people who perceive it, who take it in, who find some sustenance from it. I like it to be beautiful. I think that's important. But I also am very aware that beauty is not universal and it's not absolute. Beauty is always a kind of beauty. There are always terms that make something, or that give something a sense of beauty or not. We see that across cultural spread. But so the beauty that I find will probably speak most clearly speak of me, in a way. But then again, here I am, and I'm completely infused with the context of my social existence, the luck of being, rich enough to be able to live here in Victoria, to be able to make work, to have a good job, all of those things that are pretty fortuitous, pretty lucky. I didn't necessarily deserve them, I just got them. But anyway, all of those things, of course, infuse my sense of what might be beauty or not. I find the work beautiful, but also precarious. And it is physically precarious. One bump the wrong way and the whole thing will come tumbling down. And I think that, too, is a really important aspect of the work for me. A lot of the things I make are propped up, barely held together, or at least seem like they might be barely held together. And this is the most recent of those. I was really happy to be able to put it into the vault gallery, because that room, 16 feet by 16 feet by 8 feet tall, I think is a kind of perfect volume. And in that space, the work resonates with the walls. So the work of art becomes then not just the sculpture, but the sculpture and the room combined. And so that's it. It sits there. It's a thing with no other purpose.